Here's an article from bleedingfool.com I wanted to talk about real quick, which I would highly recommend their website again if you haven't, if you don't already check it out. Anyway, it's called it's not Comicsgate actively harassing comics fans. It's Dan Slott. Here's a nice little be kind to customers, 0 days without incident from Marvel Disney. A few days ago, a comic book fan named Joshua Quirk had a bit of a run-in with Marvel Comics writer Dan Slott after responding to one of Dan's political tweets. Here's the thing, real quick, just about Slott. I'm not really a fan of his writing. I mean, he's fine as like kind of a funny type of stuff, but not really because like he's lost his humor. Anyway, his tweet was, "There is no situation we could be at any point in this year where I am not absolutely certain that we'd be in a worse place with more American deaths than if the other candidate were still in the office." Talking about Trump versus Biden. And then Quirk, brings up, okay, about the border crisis, Afghanistan, gas prices, jobs, inflation, etc. I can tell you right now, my personal opinion, some of this stuff we could talk about. I think the border crisis wouldn't be as bad because I mean I've seen videos, man, of like some of these immigrants are trying to come over here, trying to get a better life because they were told originally by Biden and Harris, come on over. Now they're being told no, stay in Mexico. But anyway, I've seen clips and and footage and stuff of like 600 people crammed into a room that's supposed to fit 100 and everything. It's just it's ghastly that the kids in cages and all that stuff. It's still happening. It happened. It's been happening, I think, for like the last four presidents. I know it happened during Obama, Trump, and Biden. Anyway, the Afghanistan stuff, I think that would be. I don't think it would be as bad because I really think that Biden fucked that up. Now, jobs. I don't know, maybe. But anyway, he says all would be taken care of way better, and some would have never happened. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think you could try to argue that. I think, you know, but anyway, he's like, Dan Slott blocked me because I disagreed with him politely, then responded and blocked me before I could respond. This is another reason comics nowadays are crazy. I like Dan, I just disagreed with one thing. And he goes on and he bitches. And here's the proof. He's talking about how, Afghanistan would have been just as bad or worse. Because although Trump was actually getting uh, peace agreements and stuff from people. But anyway, and, they, and then Dan responds because Quirk called him out for, hey, like, it's first of all, I think it's cowardly to block people. That's just me. I think you're make yourself out to be a bitch when you do that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I don't have this huge audience that's maybe sending me tons and tons of hate. But here's the thing: neither does Dan Slott. Dan Slott don't have a big fucking audience, and look at this shit. You know, a lot of his tweets, he doesn't even get 100 likes on them. It's like you don't have a huge audience, Dan. Why the fuck are you trying to run them off? But anyway, he's like, I blocked you because I checked who you were following. You were following a number of accounts that are members of an online hate group, blah, blah, blah. He's talking about CG, Comicsgate. Anyway, Crook said, Dan, I follow a lot of people from the left to the right. He goes on and he talks, he likes to follow both sides to see what the other side is saying, which I agree with. I follow people on Twitter that I disagree with. I see them posting dumb things, in my opinion, all the time. And I'm sure that there's people who, well, I don't know if they would necessarily follow me, but I'm sure that if they did, people from the other side, they would be like, hey, you just posted another stupid thing. But, that's just how it goes, kind of. But anyway. And then, Bound into Comics talks about it, a happy encounter. Uh, Ingleton, host of I Love Comics channel, talks about it. And then, Dan's got to slide into his DMs and start bitching and yelling, oh, for fuck's sake, and everything, and talking, and just going on and on. He's like, I said I was blocking you because you were following Comicsgate people. Blah, blah, blah. And he's just bitching and complaining. And he keeps going on and on and on. And then basically, Quirk deleted the tweets in question and had it upset Slott, which I would not have done. I would have been like, I'm not doing shit. Punk, you're not my fucking, boss. You're not my dad. It's like, fuck off. I may not have said it like that, but I definitely would have told him, I was like, I ain't taking the tweets out. I ain't deleting them. Tough. Deal with it. But anyway, then the guy basically, he kind of like, he's like, whoa, I'm being bullied by this son of a bitch. But anyway, then he talks about it. He's like, I shared Bound into Comics article about Dan Slott blocking me and talked about it on the Inclusion Live stream. And that's when he talks about, Dan sliding into his DMs and cusses and bullies and stuff. And, just some guy made a video about it. Wes made a video about it. Um, Dan Slott's never-ending White Knight crusade against Comicsgate adjacent fans is one of the many problems. And he goes on, and there's ample evidence that contradicts Slott's spurious claims, even after partisan outlets like Inverse and Namari Sue use dubious sources to support those sort of bigoted attacks on anyone that merely follows the Comicsgate hashtag. Why they ignore Dan's marginalization of strong women and minorities that he disagrees with. And then Selena Hernandez, I'm a Mexican woman who's been a fan of comics and video games since age 7. Comicsgate has been nothing but beautiful, supportive, kind, and strong creators. I hope you'll wake up one day and realize this. And she's thanking just some guy for his video. And, here's, there's Mandy Summers. It's just talking more and more and stuff. And you got all these fucking clowns, Mark Wade, Bill Sienkiewicz, Nick Spencer, Tom King, Joe Quesada, blah, 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 all this kind of shit. He'll ask yourself this. If a comic pro like Dan Slott will harangue random readers in private over talking to very tactful guys like he at Ingleton, how many others have been contacted under the radar over the years? And that's talking about the tweet, or the tweet storm, I guess, or whatever. Anyway, and it talks about more of the people that have become vocally active in the Comicsgate movement and mentions, Fraga and Shane and stuff, Malin and all them guys. Chuck Dixon, Dale Keown, Ethan Van Sciver, Shane Davis, Graham Nolan. If you're wondering what Comicsgate is and all this kind of stuff, and then he talks, and it just goes on, it goes on and on. And I don't want to make this video too long. Hell, it's already almost 7 damn minutes. And you can just read the article for yourself if you really want. But it's like Dan Slott is just, he's just the exact thing that's wrong with comics today. You don't have a huge, comics in general just aren't huge these days. And there's a variety of reasons for it. One is there's way more things to do now than, like, say, when I was a kid. But also, you've got creatives and stuff, writers, artists, whatever, who are actively running off fans with their sentiments. And I'm not talking about that you have a disagreement when it comes to policies or this or that or whatever. I'm talking about the fact that you can't have a disagreement with them about a policy because they'll start going off on you. Eat a bag of pre-fucked dicks, or just going off and just cussing you out in your DMs and stuff. It's like, man, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, you're supposed to be a professional. How about that? I don't care what your politics are. Like, just be professional. How about that? Isn't that a weird concept? Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.